Hello guys and welcome to another Zoom Racing League track guide. Today we are at Zandvoort, otherwise known as the Dutch Grand Prix. And I'm going to take you guys on a little walkthrough of the track followed by a hot lap of the track. And then we're going to go through my setup. So when you're starting your hot lap, you're going to take this super wide. I like to ride all the way up on the curb and take it as wide as I can, almost out to the wall. And we're just going to get full throttle and stay up here on the high line. And I want to preface this guide by saying one of the biggest things you're going to learn here is with the banked corners, you're going to be able to carry a lot more speed than you think, and a lot more speed than the racing line suggests too. So through all these banked corners, we're just going to be carrying a ton of speed, and that's really what makes this track unique compared to the rest of the tracks on the schedule. So going to this one, I like to stay in third gear and kind of let the banking rotate me around. You don't have to put too much steering input, honestly. It just helps you out a lot. Ride it all the way out to the curb. We're going to make it up to fifth gear. Downshift once, flick it right through here. Stay as close to that curb as you can as we go into the hairpin. I like to tuck it in as tight as I can. Down to second or third. Upshift early, get right back on the throttle. So short shift, make sure we don't lose traction. Full throttle through this little section of roller coaster. It's so fun. We're going to be up in a seventh gear, and then right through here, I like to downshift and kind of just easily turn it in. You don't want too much steering input through here, or you're really going to lose your rear, and it could send you off the track into the sand or gravel or whatever that is. And you just don't want that, obviously. But you're going to ride it all the way out to this curb. You should be full throttle at this point. Up in a seventh gear, hug it tight right here. You want to get as wide of an exit or wide of an entry into this as you can. And I get right down to the curb. Sometimes I even take the curb. And you're going to get right back up into seventh gear. Run it wide out here, but don't go off onto this red and white curb. You don't want to touch that. It's likely death. I don't know why, but it seems like there's like almost like a little wall on this half ledge right here that almost hooks you in. So just don't want to get caught out there. But you're going to be full throttle through here for a second. And then this is a big area where you're going to have to really practice your trail braking techniques. So you're going to be downshifting into third gear and really just kind of rotate the car. I like to take this curb here. I haven't seen a lot of other people do it, so it might be setup dependent, but I find that taking that curb brings no issues for me. I have a lot of stability in this setup, and that's just kind of how I run things. You want to get back to this right side as quick as you can, and this is another corner where it might not look like it, but there's enough banking here that you can really just carry a lot of speed and a lot more speed than you think. And I get down to third gear, back up into fourth early, take this curb on the outside, full throttle into the second DRS zone on the track. And then as we come into the chicane part of the track, we're going to be braking right at the start of the red and white rumble strips back there. We're going to be going down to third or fourth gear, up to you. I like to keep it a little high, so maybe fourth gear, down from seventh down to fourth. If we keep it in a higher gear, there's less chance of us getting spinella on this curb right here. So we're going to just ride over that curb as much as you can, get a good angle going into this little second part of the chicane slash hairpin section. And this is where I'm going to get down to second for just a second to get some rotation on the car. And then I flick it back up to third to short shift. We're going to ride it all the way out to the outside over here onto the curb. And then this corner too, this is another one where you're just going to carry a lot more speed into it than you can imagine. So I am going to go down to third gear, but just carry as much as you can to get close to this curb. And as any of you who've practiced this track have probably already noticed, this right hand side curb is death, so don't touch. But you are going to run out to this exit curb just for a little bit, and then bring it back down to the inside, tuck it in right, and take the shortest line to the finish. So that is going to be it for the track guide section of this tutorial. Now we're going to go into the hot lap. The hot lap is probably not my best time. It's a little sloppy, but I think you guys will get the idea, and hopefully you can find some spots where you can fix it and gain some time of your own. Alright guys, so for this setup, this is actually something that I use at Hungry as well. So we're going to use the 1111 wings. The transmission we're going to put, I like it at 93, but I don't know. You could honestly keep it at 90, and this is really just for time trials. For a race, I always, just personal preference, I like to bump this differential way down to like 70 or even 65 depending. I think, just from my findings, I think you save your rear tire a lot, so that's what I like to do. But for time trial, I'm going to keep this a little high. For suspension, I like this how it is. You could, for the race, go like this. And I know this is really common. This is what a lot of people like to do with the 08 or 07. I think that you could do that, but I kind of liked it how it was. It's just like a little more responsive, so we're going to leave it like that. For the suspension, we're going to run 2.7, 2.9 for the anti-roll bars, so we like that stiffer rear anti-roll bar. And then the ride height, we're going to go 2.7. The ride height on the back is going to help us go over the curb and the chicane easier and not lose our rear as we're going over it. For the brakes, I always run 100% brake pressure. My brake bias, I've actually been toying with it this game, because last game, obviously, we kept it at 50% nonstop, but I'm really actually liking it towards the higher end. So 56% is what we're at in this time. And for the tires, this is actually what it's set to by default. I have no issue with it here, so we're just going to go ahead and leave it. That's it for the setup, and that's it for this track guide. If you guys are interested in getting into some racing, go ahead and join our Discord. There's a link to that below. And our next race will be this Sunday at Zandvoort. So go ahead and tune in to our YouTube channel at 8 and 10 on Sunday Eastern Time. And we hope to see you guys there. So thanks for tuning in, and see you guys next time.